Before gods walked among mortals, before legends were carved into stone, there was a man born of two worlds, a soul caught between the divine light of Olympus and the fleeting shadow of human life. His name was Hercules, and his story is not one of brute strength, but of a heart shattered and remade. His life began under a star of great promise. Son of Zeus, king of the gods, he possessed a power no mortal could rival. Laughter echoed in his home, love bloomed in his heart, and his future seemed as bright as the sun itself. But even the brightest sun cast a shadow. A terrible jealousy festered in the heart of Hera, queen of the gods. She watched this child of another, this symbol of her husband's betrayal, and her divine pride twisted into a venomous curse. In a single, nightmarish moment, a madness descended upon Hercules. A fog of divine fury clouded his mind, and when it finally lifted, his world was gone. His hands, which had once cradled his children, had brought ruin. The silence in his home was a scream that would echo in his soul for eternity. This was not the act of a monster, but the tragedy of a good man broken by a force beyond his control. Crushed by a grief so profound it threatened to swallow him whole, Hercules fled into the wilderness. He was no longer a hero, no longer a husband or a father. He was a ghost, haunted by the faces of those he loved. In his despair, he sought the wisdom of the oracle at Delphi, a voice that spoke for the gods themselves. He did not ask for power or for glory. He begged for a path, any path, to wash the stain from his soul. The oracle's words were a heavy sentence. 12 years of servitude to his cousin. King Eurystheus, a man known for his cowardice and envy. And through this service, he was to complete 10 impossible tasks. 10 labors designed to break him. Yet this was not a punishment, it was a pilgrimage, a chance for redemption. For the gods do not measure a soul by its fall, but by its courage to rise again. And so Hercules began his journey. His first labor was to face the Nemean lion, a beast whose golden hide was impervious to any weapon. It was a monster born of nightmare, a creature of raw, untamable fury. Hercules fought it not with swords or arrows, but with his bare hands. In that struggle, it was not just muscle against muscle, but spirit against primal chaos. When he finally emerged, draped in the lion's unbreakable hide, he carried more than a trophy. He wore a symbol of his own resilience, that the greatest monsters can be overcome, not by external weapons, but by the unyielding will within. Next, he was sent to destroy the Lernaean Hydra, a serpent with 9 heads, one of which was immortal. For every head he severed, 2 more grew in its place. It was a battle against futility, a reflection of his own grief, a pain that multiplied with every attempt to fight it. He realized he could not win this fight alone. With the help of his nephew, Iolaus, they cauterized each neck with fire, preventing the heads from regrowing. And the final, immortal head he buried beneath a massive rock. This labor taught him humility and the wisdom of shared burdens. Some battles are not meant to be fought alone. Some wounds only heal with the help of another. His path led him from the dark swamps to the golden fields where the Cyrenian hind roamed, a creature sacred to Artemis, so swift it could outrun an arrow. For a full year, Hercules pursued it, not with aggression, but with patience. It was a chase of endurance, a test of respect for the divine and the natural world. He captured it without harm, a testament to his growing wisdom. Strength was not just about overpowering an enemy, but about understanding and honoring the sanctity of life. The labors grew stranger, more daunting. He was tasked with capturing the Erymanthian boar, a fearsome beast that ravaged the countryside. He drove it into deep snow, exhausting its rage until it was subdued. He cleaned the Augean stables, a task of unimaginable filth, not with a shovel, but by diverting 2 rivers to wash them clean. A lesson in ingenuity, in finding a greater solution to an overwhelming problem. He faced the Stymphalian birds, metallic creatures with razor-sharp feathers, scaring them from their nests with a divine rattle and felling them with his arrows. Each task was a trial of a different virtue. He journeyed to Crete to capture the Cretan bull, a creature of mad power, and tamed it with gentle strength. He sailed to the edge of the known world to steal the mares of Diomedes, flesh-eating horses that mirrored the madness he once endured. But instead of destroying them, he fed them their cruel master, breaking the cycle of violence and taming their wild nature. For his 9th labor, he was sent to retrieve the girdle of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. It was meant to be a mission of diplomacy, but Hero's whispers turned trust into war. In the chaos, Hippolyta fell, and Hercules took the girdle with a heavy heart, reminded that even with the best intentions, misunderstanding can breed tragedy. His journey then took him to the very edge of the world, to capture the cavil of the 3-bodied giant, Geryon. He crossed a desert so vast and hot that in his frustration he shot an arrow at the sun. But the sun god, Peleus, impressed by his audacity, lent him a golden cup to sail across the ocean. This labor was a journey into the unknown, a testament to the courage it takes to face the end of your world and sail beyond it. The 11th labor was the most daunting yet, to fetch the golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides, a garden tended by nymphs and guarded by a 100-headed dragon. The apples were a wedding gift to Hera, symbols of immortality. To find the garden, Hercules had to seek the help of the Titan Atlas, who held the heavens upon his shoulders. In a moment of incredible sacrifice and trust, Hercules took the weight of the sky himself, freeing Atlas to retrieve the apples. For a brief time, Hercules felt the crushing, infinite weight of the cosmos, a burden far greater than his own grief. When Atlas returned, tempted to leave Hercules to his fate, Hercules tricked him into taking the sky back. He had not only outwitted a god, but had held the universe and survived. He learned that his own suffering, as immense as it felt, was but a small part of a much larger cosmic story. Finally, King Eurystheus, in a last desperate attempt to destroy him, commanded the impossible 12th labor, to descend into the underworld and bring back Cerberus, the 3-headed hound that guarded the gates of the dead. Hercules walked into the realm of shadows, the land of no return. He faced the ghosts of his past and the terrifying silence of eternity. He did not fight his way in. He went with reverence, seeking permission from Hades, the lord of the underworld. Hades agreed on one condition, that Hercules could subdue the beast with his bare hands. In the gloom of Tartarus, Hercules wrestled with the monstrous guardian. It was a battle not of life and death, but of will against the very concept of oblivion. He overpowered Cerberus, not with rage, but with a strength forged in suffering and tempered by wisdom. He brought the beast to the world of the living, a symbol that he had faced the deepest darkness, his own mortality, his own hell, and had returned. He had walked through death and was reborn. When he presented Cerberus to Eurystheus, the king cowered in fear. The labors were complete. Hercules was free, but he was not the same man who had begun the journey. The rage was gone, replaced by a quiet strength. The despair was gone, replaced by a profound peace. The 12 labors were not punishments. They were steps on a sacred path. Each monster he faced was an external reflection of an internal demon: rage, futility, pride, filth, fear. Each victory was not just for the world, but for his own soul. Hercules' story teaches us that redemption is not a gift that is given, but a path that is walked. It is forged in the fires of impossible trials, in the humility of asking for help, in the patience to endure, and in the courage to face the darkness within and without. His journey from a broken man to a true hero shows us that our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths, that even when we fall into the darkest abyss, there is a way back to the light. The path may be long, it may demand everything we have, but it is there. For in every human heart, there is a spark of the divine, a strength that can hold up the sky, and a hope that can walk out of the underworld, reborn. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story resonated with you, subscribe to God Story Reborn for more tales of light and redemption.